Our project is an AI that generates Jeopardy questions, and we're the Fusion Flamingos.
These are the things we'll talk about today. First, we'll introduce our team member and do a recap about our project. Then we'll talk about how do we overcome our challenges and some example model outputs. Then we'll talk about some usage of our product and the demo video. Lastly, we'll talk about what kind of model and data we are using and what are we going to do if we had more time.
Hi, I'm Siva. I worked on a wide variety of stuff, such as the pre-processing, website, and training of both models. I primarily worked on the functionality of the website and the value model, but the value model sadly went unused. Out of everything I did, I enjoyed training the models the most.
My name is Jaanvi, and I helped with backend development.
I'm Wenfan, and I mostly work on the pre-processing of data and some of the front-end development.
Hi, I'm Aaron, and I helped on the training the models and also the front end of the website.
I'm Kelvin. I mostly did pre-processing the data and working on the back end of the website.
A final recap of our product is that it's an AI that generates Jeopardy-style questions, and they're based off of whatever category the user inputs. The user can also attempt to answer the questions, but they can't actually submit these answers. And our goal in creating this AI was to provide our users with entertainment, as we wanted them to have fun answering the questions given to them. We also set a goal for ourselves that we would be able to generate real questions that had actual answers.
We had to overcome many challenges while creating our product, the most frequent of which was debugging. In order to help us debug our code, we enlisted the help of tools, websites, and other resources such as ChatGPT, Stack Overflow, and various documentation. As for how we cleaned our data set, we discussed amongst ourselves what the proper way to clean it would be. Our final pre-processing is actually relatively simple compared to the pre-processing we were initially performing. We did end up adding a step today, which was the removal of all columns that weren't category in question in order to train a new model. A major roadblock we encountered was assigning value to questions. Rather than try to make one model do two things, we decided to make a second model that would instead classify text, assigning it a point value. Unfortunately, we did not have time to implement this model, leaving it unused. This slide contains example outputs from two models: the text generation model, which generates the questions in our final product, and the text classification model, which is unfortunately unused in our final product. The text classification model takes in text and predicts what value it thinks it is. In this case, a value of 3, which corresponds to $600. The text generation model takes in a category and generates a question based on that category.
These are the usage of our product. First, and the most important is playing Jeopardy. And this is the primary purpose of our product. As a question, it generates, simulates Jeopardy question. Second, it will generate quizzes. So our product can generate quizzes question that belong to certain categories, such as US president, etc. And lastly, it can use as a study tool. Similar to flashcard, our product can be used to rapidly generate question in a category that you wish to study.
And now for a demonstration. Let's see. On our website here, you can see we have our Jeopardy game, and here you can input 6 different categories, just like the game show in real life, where you'll have 6 different categories of questions. And then corresponding, for example, I put in math, science, literature, history, sports, and food. And then in each column, we'll have questions that correspond to the category that is inputted underneath each of these tiles, just like the actual game show, so that you can play at home or anywhere you want.
So for our data set, we used a data set from Kaggle containing over 200,000 Jeopardy questions. We used NLTK, Pandas, and NumPy for pre-processing our data. TensorFlow, PyTorch, and the Transformer GPT Neo to train the model and for our model, and we use Flask, HTML, and CSS for our website. If we had more time, we would implement a separate model to assign a proper difficulty value to the generated questions. Currently, we're just generate 5 questions, but in the future, we would have liked to have an AI model tag each of the questions with a certain value, with a certain point score, and we would also like to be able to have the model score the answer on correctness. So this would allow the users to play an actual Jeopardy game, putting answers and then getting feedback of right or wrong.